Like most chefs, when she's in front of the stove, Beck is thinking about her customers.
I do what I love, is cooking. I love to feed people.
But at the end of the day, when the last guest is served, doesn't clock out. She cranks up. You might say she takes work home with her every day, to any place the customers want it.
We can go wherever. We can come to you.
Thao and her business partner, Ardath first developed their dreams of dining and driving as colleagues at Trader Joe's.
The food truck had always had a place near and dear to my heart.
And soon after, Mom's Delicious Dishes was born.
We were going for comfort food. We were going for food that we thought everybody could relate to on some level.
The way it's served out of a truck isn't something everyone can relate to, but that's starting to change.
I think it really is kind of hip and cool now.
If you go around the country like I have, food trucks are one of the hot areas with regard to food.
And over the past 3 years, the trend has been taking root in the Triangle. There are now about 24 food trucks operating in the region. At Mom's Delicious Dishes, Chipotle shrimp tacos are menu mainstays, along with a variety of sandwiches and side dishes. The evolving food truck culture in the Triangle offers about a dozen different dining options. There are burgers, Korean barbecue, and Italian dishes. The list goes on.
There's a coffee truck, there's a crepe truck that hangs out in Carborough occasionally, on Saturday mornings. So any kind of cuisine you can think of, it's really a great diversity.
For many food truck operators, the mobile restaurants bring flexibility and much less risk.
We're in the middle of a recession. If you have a restaurant dream, it's a lot cheaper to open a food truck than to open a brick and mortar restaurant.
You can test it out for, maybe a tenth the price that it would cost to build a restaurant.
Which can run more than $200,000. The food truck's mobility brings another advantage.
I think if you have a site, a restaurant, sometimes, if the area changes or dries out, as to speak, then you can't really get up and go.
But for all their potential, food trucks also carry a perception problem. In the minds of many potential customers, they're eat-at-your-own-risk sorts of ventures. Monique is a first-time food truck patron.
Figured I'll come give it a try.
But before she did, she got some intel from her coworkers.
There was a huge line out here, and I waited till everyone else came back to tell me how it was and how the experience was, and then I said, okay, I'll give it a try.
As the concept of food trucks catches on, the negative perceptions are beginning to fade away.
That's how it was in the past, and everyone talks about like the street meat, like late night after you go out to the bar and stuff, but I think it's become a little more classy and it's more trendy now.
You think it's in any of the better gourmet restaurants in Chapel Hill or Durham or downtown Raleigh. Yeah, fabulous.
Although they're much different from typical bricks and mortar restaurants, food trucks are still subject to rules and regulations.
They're held to the same sanitation standards as any restaurant.
To get a permit, a food truck operation must have a commissary or home base kitchen.
And you must store all your food there. You must, if you have any advanced preparation of food, that's the kitchen you would do it at. You would not be allowed to do anything at your residence where you live.
Inside the Mom's Delicious Dishes truck, Beck has refrigerators, sinks, a flat-top grill, and 2 burners. She welcomes a regular inspection.
And it's a quarterly, and it's a surprise. We just had one a couple weeks ago.
But there is a big difference in how the sanitation inspections are posted.
We actually don't post a sanitation number grade or letter grade that you see in a traditional restaurant. It's more or less a pass-fail that we would fill out a form, let you know if there are any deficiencies you need to improve on.
Traditional restaurant owners welcome the competition from food trucks, but they say the lack of a letter grade gives the mobile units a regulatory advantage. Restaurant owner Lex Alexander says the mood about food trucks among his colleagues is mixed.
Sentiments run along the gamut.
Right now there are talks about rewriting food truck rules, which could potentially take away the regulatory disparity. Some restaurant owners see a culture where all eateries, the shifting and the stationary, are thriving.
All the major food centers around the country have embraced, from New York City right across the map. The progressive places have embraced the food trucks.
In and of themselves, food trucks may be fairly low tech, but they rely heavily on high tech to get their word out. Just about all successful food truck operations rely on social media like Facebook and Twitter to get a good group of customers coming out.
Social media is a presence that cannot be denied with this. You have to have it so people can find you, if for no other reason, literally to know where you are so they can come and give you a try.
Using Facebook and especially Twitter, loyal customers or even first-timers can find the addresses where the trucks are going to be parked.
It's knowing kind of where they are currently because they do travel and they are on the go.
Social media is giving the trucks another substantial boost: credibility. A good review can quickly go viral.
You know, you get a lot of people talking, there's a lot of buzz that you wouldn't get, you know, just going to a website or just going to a restaurant. You see other people talking about it, you're like, I gotta try this.
The first 6 months of Mom's Delicious Dishes have met Ardath Church's expectations, and she's excited about the future. Convincing the skeptics is what motivates her the most.
We've actually heard people say, oh, I don't eat food off of a truck, but they'll be with a group and they'll look at what they get. They sort of cautiously look into it and they go, ooh, that looks all right. So and then they try it and you can see right there, you've got them.